Okay, the mission today is as follows. I have this here ASUS Chromebook Flip. It's kind of a nice, super light Chromebook that can be converted to tablet mode, or you can stand it up like that, watch YouTube videos on it, touchscreen, keyboard, lightweight, good battery life, etc. Problem is, it doesn't work, or rather the keyboard doesn't work. On this particular Chromebook, something has gone wrong such that some of the keys work. So you might be able to see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but dots are appearing as I type, but if I press backspace, nothing is happening. So some of the keys work, some of them don't. Unfortunately, one of the keys that doesn't work is the escape key, which is, it's necessary to hold down escape when you power it on if you want to put it into factory reset mode. So I can't do that, and I also can't reset it through ordinary means, even with an external keyboard and mouse, which still works, due to some complexity of the way this computer is managed. So you might have noticed the DataVision sticker on the back. I brought this into DataVision, which is one of the few authorized ASUS repair centers you can walk into. They happen to be in New York, and so I brought this in, but it turns out that they don't do Chromebooks. They just do ASUS laptops, so they gave it back to me after a couple days. Then I emailed ASUS and I asked them for help, and they replied that I should power wash it, which, as I've explained a moment ago, I can't do. Power wash is the Chrome factory reset, but I can't do that. So unfortunately, that was in April of last year. It's now February the next year. I've let this sit around for a long time because, as it turns out, I have another one. So I've been using the working one, and I've been a bit neglectful of getting this one fixed, and now the warranty has expired. So they are this computer, which cost about $260 new, will cost about $330 to repair. So it's clearly beyond economical repair. So instead, what we're going to do is take it apart. Why not? So today's mission, now that I've had my caffeine, is to disassemble this Chromebook, maybe even fix it, because it seems to me that whatever's wrong with it might just be repairable. So I'm looking. I could have looked on the internet to see if anyone had a disassembly guide of some sort, but I see some Torx screws on the bottom, and so I think I'm just going to start by taking the bottom off. I'm going to put those bits over there. That's not good. We will use the little itty bitty ones. Let's see if it's that one. Yes. Guessed right on the first guess. So just take this apart. I apologize for the sudden jump in lighting and framing since a few seconds ago, but in real time, an hour and a half has gone by. I just thought to myself briefly, I'll plug in an external monitor and I can see what I'm doing that way. While you can't see it, but right over here, there's a big screen over here, and so I thought I'd plug that in, and then I can see exactly what the camera is seeing, and I don't have to keep saying, "Are you seeing that?" Well, long story short, technology has really failed me tonight, and I've had a lot of trouble with that. And then I gave up and I tried something else. I'm having a lot of trouble with the GoPro because, I don't know, because it would be too easy if you could view the HDMI video out while you're recording without the camera crashing after 7 seconds. So I've spent an hour and a half just trying to resolve a very trivial thing, and in the end I have it kind of working, but not exactly the way I wanted it to go. Also, I wasn't going to stop and tell that tedious story. I was going to tell that story while taking these screws out so that you don't have to listen. Now, of course, I'm thinking, I'm taking these screws out, but I should probably put this down on something to protect the surface. Or to protect the... by the way, if I sound an hour and a half tireder, that is also the reason. I'm so not in the mood to do this anymore. It's going to be such a simple thing. I do feel like I should put something down here. All I could find was a paper towel. Oddly enough, I don't own an ESD mat. ESD, I guess, is not the important part. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I don't know. So I'm taking out these tiny little Torx screws from the bottom of my ASUS Chromebook C100PA. That screw is longer than the others, so we'll put that somewhere else. Hopefully I have the video record now to remind me of which screws came from where. Which screws came whence. Some sort of prizing tool. I suspect the feet will have to come off. I always like to hide things under the feet. But having removed all of the visible and obvious screws, I can hope that it just opens. I need some more prizing tools. Remember these screwdrivers? This Radio Shack screwdriver set? I think there was a time when everybody had this set, and I still have all of mine. What I don't have is room on my desk. Okay. Let's see if any of this is going to let go. Well, I see some buttons there. That clearly is an issue in terms of things letting go. I am not a teardown artist. There are certainly people who are much better at this than I am. I don't know, should I take the feet off? I kind of feel like I'm still at the point where I stand a chance. I can fix this and put it back together, and it won't look like I've ruined it. Well, I suppose I could take these two screws off the hinge. Doing that clearly allows this part of the hinge to separate, but it doesn't allow the middle to separate. It doesn't feel like it's clipped. All of this stuff, which I guess is metal, it's scratching very, very easily. I'm not feeling a clip there. Not too happy about this. I'm going to try and take the feet off. What is that? I appear to have at some point gotten a little gasket of some sort accidentally. It must have fallen out of one of these holes. Yeah, looks like some of them have little gaskets inside, which that's just great. Recalcitrance. Don't enjoy it. The spot where the ports are is necessarily weaker, which doesn't mean that because I'm able to pry it apart here, that could just be because it's weaker, right? Not because I'm actually getting anywhere. I really don't understand this. Oh man, it's the other. Ooh. Chrome OS is missing or damaged. This is the recovery mode I've been trying to get into. How did I get it into recovery mode? This would be astounding if I could fix it. This is pretty funny. The reason I'm laughing is because in order to get this screen to come up, you have to hold down the escape key and the reload key while you turn it on, but you can't do that because the escape key wasn't working. I don't know, man. If I found some trick to get into recovery mode, I don't know if I want to continue this project right now. So what I can do is take my other Chromebook and make a recovery stick and then use it to wipe this one, which is the thing I've been unable to successfully do. Of course, now it doesn't seem to be reading that SD card, so there might be a problem there. That's going to take 10 minutes. Now, the problem here is this might be so badly broken. I mean, I don't know how I got into recovery mode. Could be a bad sign. A sensible person would stop. They would just sit here and wait patiently. They would use the opportunity the Lord hath given them. First, yeah, lift it up. Oh, there we go. Okay. There were a couple flex cables that came out on their own. Never a good sign. Well, while we're in here then, let's take a look at what we've got. So here's the insides. not a whole heck of a lot visible, honestly. Clearly battery on the bottom here. Very, very flat. Two cells. Sanyo. Excuse me. I don't know where the storage is. It's very, very little storage on this thing. I think it's like 16 gigabytes or something. There's some big honking fingerprints on this copper here, which is kind of funny. Maybe, I don't know. Touched by human hands, right? So, what I'm seeing here is the possibility that this, where's my plastic spudger? This here flex connector might have come loose. It's possible that all my keyboard woes, look at that, I mean that's not even in there right. So it's possible that the reason that I was having trouble with the keyboard is just that the flex was half pulled out. Alright, first let me just test this theory here. See if I can, I'm gonna see if I can get that flex back in. Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to lose my possibly one and only chance to get into recovery. No, it doesn't. It doesn't want to start up. That's not a great sign. Unless, is it possible that the storage is on this board? No, that would be crazy. I mean, it would suck if I fixed the keyboard and broke something else. That one I can't tell if it's in or not. But the download is nearly complete. Let's see if I can figure out how to snap this thing back together. Yes. What are the chances that this thing just magically boots up? Nope. Don't know what that's about. I think I fixed the keyboard. I have recovery media. We're going to see what we will see. Chrome OS is missing or damaged. So this will tell me, hopefully, whether I can reinstall this machine. If I can, all my woes might be over. It says you are about to recover your computer. Make sure it's plugged into a power source. Put this flat down like this, so there's a possibility I might be able to see some of it on the camera. Maybe. So the way I see it, there are two possibilities here. One is that something happened and I'm just going to be able to reinstall and everything's good. Two is that the MMC flash is just toast, so I won't be able to reinstall, which would suck because I'm pretty sure I fixed the keyboard. So now it says system recovery is in progress. This will take a few minutes. Please do not turn off the computer or disconnect the power. Well, Surprise, surprise, I haven't connected the power in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and let this other machine go. It's really funny that the whole time the problem was very likely just that the connector came loose. I thought there might be something loose, but I don't know what I envisioned in my mind, like a capacitor, surface mount capacitor popped off the board or something. System recovery is complete. Please remove the recovery media and your computer will restart automatically. Let's see what happens. Is it going to boot into Chrome OS? Verify anything? Just look at that. Look at that. It's starting. Select your language, select your keyboard, select a network. Well, what I really want to do is see if the escape key is working, but I have no idea how. So I'm going to go ahead and... Backspace is working. That didn't work before. Escape's working. It's fixed. It is fixed. Yes. Glorious. This is sweet. Fixed it. That means I have an extra Chromebook. Okay, so now that this is fixed, I just need to put all the screws back in. And then maybe I can get this ugly DataVision sticker off. That's all the screws. Here we go. Flip it over. It went to sleep. Wake it up. Touch screen works, I believe. Yep, touch screen's working. Oh, I have offers. Chromebook offers. Thanks, Google. Hey, it's all good. Yeah, so here's the situation then. Some of the keys, including important ones like escape and backspace, stopped working. I was unable to power wash the machine because it had been joined to my company's enterprise management, and as a managed Chromebook, they disabled the power wash option. So I couldn't do that. And now that I've put it back here, I should actually be able to. There it is. Let me point that out. See this power wash down here. That is remove all user accounts and reset your Chrome device to be just like new. Well, when it's a managed device, the managers have the ability to change these things so that you don't have the power wash option. So they disabled the power wash option, and as a result, I couldn't do that, right? So how do you do that if you can't do that? Well, the other way to do it, am I making any sense? You shut the thing down. Let me show you. Shut down. And you hold escape and reload, or whatever that's called, while you turn it on. And when you do that, it goes into this screen here that claims Chrome OS is missing or damaged. This is what normally would come up if Chrome OS is missing or damaged, but in this case it's not. But you hold those keys down and it pretends, and it lets you reinstall. So that's sort of your your forced recovery option. However, because the escape key wasn't working, I couldn't do that. And plugging in an external keyboard did not work. It's quite clear that that low-level boot option is directly reading the internal keyboard. So it doesn't matter if you plug in an external keyboard and you hold down escape and F3 or whatever that that key might map to, not going to work. So I was kind of stuck there. I couldn't, not that it really mattered, but ASUS really, really wanted me to try the power wash first, and who knows, maybe that would somehow magically fix the keyboard, and I couldn't do it. So this thing sat in a drawer for a year. Finally decided today to call ASUS support and ask them if I could send it in and they could try to repair the keyboard. And I spent a lot of time on the phone with sort of first level person who really didn't understand the situation I was in and why I couldn't just hold down these keys. The keyboard's not working. She's like, well, do you have an external keyboard? We went through the whole thing, right? But in the end, she was not able to help me. And then she informed me that the repair estimate was $330, and that's just an estimate. First, you pay to ship it, you pay to send it in, and then they'll look at it and they'll tell you how much it's actually going to cost, and then you can have the repair done, or you can pay to have it shipped back. So clearly, for a computer that I paid $260 for in the first place, a $300 to $400 repair, even spending 50 or 60 bucks to send it in and back, and get it back still broken, it seemed economically nonsensical. So that is why I decided to make this video today of the teardown, and I would just see, what if I opened it up and there's just, there's a capacitor rattling around and I just need to solder it back on the board. But it turned out that the problem was simply that the little latch for the flat flex cable had popped open, and clearly the flex had pulled out slightly, and just enough that part of the keyboard wasn't working. Crazy. So after a lot of trouble getting the case open and a lot of trouble with that cable, and then somehow along the way the OS getting damaged in such a way that it booted into the recovery screen that I've been unable to access all of this time. We were able to reinstall. It is no longer a managed device, which is perfect. And the keyboard is working, including the escape key and everything else. So cool. I've got myself an extra Chromebook Flip. That's it. Bye-bye.